The Christian life is one of balance. Often we will speak of one thing at the expense of the other. We will major on one part of the Christian life and neglect the other. In Paul's epistles, he affirmed that all we need is faith. It is by faith alone that we are saved. It's not by what we do, but in whom we believe. James is different than Paul. It's a book about wholeness. He gives us the other side of this coin. We can't have faith without works. The two go together. Abraham was saved by faith, but his faith was also evidenced in his works. He was willing to sacrifice his son Isaac. That proved his faith. As some have put it, we are saved by faith alone, but that faith is never alone. Faith puts on flesh. It is the root that produces fruit. Though there are a few James in the New Testament, one of them is James, the son of Zebedee, the brother of John, and one of the 12. Another one, James, the son of Alphaeus, another one of the 12. This James is the half-brother of Jesus. After Peter moved from Jerusalem to start new churches, Jesus' half-brother James rose to prominence in the Jerusalem church. You can read about him in Acts 12 and 15. This church fell on hard times. There was famine, poverty, and persecution. Maybe in light of these circumstances, James writes this letter to Jews scattered in the region. But unlike Paul's letters, it may not address a specific situation, but rather distills James' wisdom for every community. James offers wisdom for a life of wholeness, and he sources much of this in the wisdom of both the wisdom literature of the Old Testament and Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. The structure of James is more topical, but most of the topics are found in the first chapter. You can see in the chart, the first chapter, everything radiates from that. Every other theme, whether it's favoritism, faith and works, the tongue, wisdom, a divided heart, wealth, patience, prayer, and restoration, all of these are found in chapter 1, and then James returns to them as he continues to write. James is unlike any other book in the New Testament. It's intensely practical. There are more commands in this book than any other New Testament book. It's also quite concise. James will look at a topic briefly and then switch to another one. Finally, James is unique because it's so memorable, because of the many metaphors that he uses. He compares the tongue to the rudder of a ship. He speaks of patience as waiting for the rain, and wealth in light of destructive moths. James calls the Messianic community to follow their wise teacher and to follow the Torah by loving God and others. This is wisdom for wholeness.